Alright, I need to find a spot. Need a wall. I need a wall. Oh, shit! That's the spot. There it is.
Hey kid, let's think outside the box. We're all told it growing up. We're all told to do it. We all attempt to do it, and we all fail miserably at doing it. Everybody always tells you to think outside the box, but what they don't tell you is thinking outside the box is like, I don't know, trying to reinvent the motherfucking wheel. It's like trying to reinvent sliced bread. Like you're trying to slice it vertically, but horizontally. Like, does bread have an XY axis? How do you? Slicing it long ways. All right, listen, I'm in a suit. I thought I would spruce myself up. We're in a brand new studio. It's called the Mall Parking Garage. I'm trying to think outside the box here. What I want to talk about today is little few video game companies that try to think outside the box and succeeded, just like me. Today, I want to talk about the best outside the box moments in video gaming. Hit it. Puzzle games. Goddamn puzzle games. Think about it. I don't know if you guys remember, but growing up, there was an era where every puzzle game was broken down into one of two categories. You have the games that were actually missed, and the games that were missed knockoffs. That was the only two categories of puzzle games growing up. And all of this changed. You see, there was this one game that came out that had everything that none of these other games had. It had fun graphics, funny jokes, great writing, and most importantly, portals? Oh look, big game hunter Valve over here on a safari saw the most exotic looking beast ever, took a shot at an orbicular drop, and then took it back home to the States, and it's been a talking point ever since. I'm talking about a game called Portal, guys. Come on.
Welcome to the Aperture Science Enrichment Center.
What Kim Swift and the rest of her development staff did was do something that other puzzle games have been struggling to do for years. It took a puzzle game and made it appeal to the mainstream. Listen, it had 3D graphics, it had the Half-Life fucking gravity gun, who didn't want that in their game at the time? It had puzzles that a fucking kindergartner could solve, but it made me feel like a genius for doing it, and most importantly, what it did was implement something that games have been trying to do forever. It implemented 3D physics puzzles and made it work. When I was playing it, it got me thinking, what if I stack like this box on top of this box to get to this ledge? What if I jumped off of here and I used the momentum to get me up going higher so I could get on a ledge that would otherwise be unattainable? And you know what the most important thing that Portal did? It got me thinking.
With portals.
My name's Hayden Chapman. Thank you. That was it. End of video. Right here. Drop the ball. There you go. We're done. Fucking not gonna drop this. This is a $400 mic and it would break. Guys, now I know what you guys are saying. Hate it, you know, Portal, very outside the box game, but I thought we were gonna talk about the radical shit. I thought we were gonna go hardcore. I thought we were gonna go X Games on them. Fucking X Games. And I gotta tell you guys, you know me. You know H Cheesy delivers. I thought we would start off with something a little light, you know? I thought we would just start off doing like sick tricks with Razor scooters. But now we're gonna move on to something harder, more hardcore, more radical. I'm talking about a game that did a Razor scooter trick with no knee pads. That's right, I'm talking about a little radical game that could have just as easily been the benchmark for fucking cringe, but it ended up being the benchmark to what video games could do artistically. I'm talking about Stanley Fuck me in the ass. Sorry about that, guys. I was having a little bit of a stroke. I was talking about Stanley Parable. This game, man, I don't even know where to begin. This game is the definition of holy shit, how did you pull that off? Like, that's the definition of it. Because really think about this. Think about the Stanley Parable. Break it down for a second. I mean, if it stumbled at any point, if any of the dialogue just felt out of place and awkward. The whole woven tapestry that is the Stanley Parable would have torn apart. The game could have just as easily be, look at this game over here trying to be a piece of fucking art. It's so edgy. Ooh, look at that. So cool, so artsy. But instead, it became, look at this. This is how video games could be art. This is how video games could be avant-garde. This is how video games can have some class. This is a master class in thinking outside the box. If you ever want a game that defines thinking outside the box, play this game. It questions what free will is in a video game. It questions what you can and cannot do in a video game. But I'm getting too excited here. Listen, both Will and Dave, the game developers on this, showcased us what video games can be, what video games can do. And in my personal opinion, Stanley Parable is the defining example of what the medium of video gaming is capable of. You guys know what time it is. You guys have watched these videos before, and if you haven't, this is usually the point where I start breaking down what the conclusion of this is, why exactly I'm talking about thinking outside the box, what exactly I'm trying to do. But this time, I thought it would give you something a little extra. Now, it's been a month since I did one of these. It's been a while. You guys have waited, and there is a reason why I'm creating this, and I wanted to save it for the end. We're gonna go long. We're going overtime with this because there's a little bit of a game that I've always thought, earnestly thought personally, was super overhyped. I thought it was overrated. I never played the game, never bothered to play the game because why the fuck would I demean myself to it? Until recently, I had some free time and I decided to finally hop aboard the bandwagon and see what a little game series is all about. This game series is called Metal Gear. The only reason I bring this video up is because I need to own up to my mistake. I need to apologize to Kojima. I need to apologize to the Metal Gear team because I don't even know where to begin to talk about Metal Gear Solid right now. Because there are so many outside the box moments. There were so many moments that Kojima and his team were able to push what it meant to be video games and showcase what it is capable of. If you just thought outside the norms for a second, if you just thought beyond what a game is capable of and what the story is capable of. Do I talk about the time where you could just fast forward your PS2's clock to the future like Marty McFly yourself back to the fucking future and let a boss die of literal old age? Like, who the fuck does that? When that moment happened, I literally went Kurt Cobain. My mind was blown at that point. Like, what the fuck? Where do we fucking go from there? There were so many examples that I could talk about. But there's only one example that I do want to talk about for Metal Gear Solid. And it's the moment that I realized I needed to make this video. I needed to make this video to apologize formally to Kojima. Apologize for all the bad stuff I said. Because a little moment called the Psychomantis battle fight happened. And, I'll never be the same. Listen, I don't even know where to begin with this boss. This boss is a literal embodiment of thinking outside the box. Like, here's the box, right here, we're inside of it, he's over here. He's fucking flying around like fucking Tinkerbell because he's so out of the box that there's no constraints, there's nothing. And listen, this is a game from 1998. Listen to me, 1998. And no one has topped what Psychomantis has been able to do.
Now, let me read your mind. No, perhaps I should say your past.
Not only does Psychomantis tell you what other games you played. Oh shit. You played Castlevania? You have a save on your memory card?
You like Castlevania, don't you?
He tells you that you play Castlevania. You like playing fucking role-playing games on the PlayStation? You like playing those shits? He'll fucking tell you that. Not only that, that's not the only thing he does. He also tells you how you've been playing. Have you saved enough in Metal Gear? As a 24-year-old, I have to say, I am so fucking impressed by this boss fight. And I could only imagine what it would have been like when I was 4-year-old when I played this game. If I played this game when I was 4, I dare say I would have probably been a little fucking freaked out because that fucking thing is fucking scary. Who fucking does this in a video game? No one. But that's not the only thing I wanted to talk about. That's not the reason I made this video. No, that's not the only reason. There's one more reason that the Psychomantis is the best boss fight of all time. It thought so far outside of what it meant to be a video game that it literally, I'm not even joking around anymore. No more character, cut that shit out, character done. It literally makes you take your controller and plug it into the player 2 slot so we can't read your inputs, so we can't counter it. Can you imagine that? That is so crazy to actually have to physically change your hardware to turn it into something else.
So, you used I wasn't able to read the future.
You ain't gotta read the future when we already in it. Hit it! Alright guys, I know. Very unorthodox way to do this video. Originally, I released this video about like 6 months ago, back in June. But I was not happy with how I edited the video or how it ended, and I'm gonna make up for it now. I got my Adidas track jacket, Zach Galifianakis zipped up. I got my hat on. HB stands for H-boy. I'm looking professional. I'm looking hip, and I'm here to talk about what I really meant this video to be. In hindsight, it's easy to see what works. It's easy to see what innovations and new technologies and new engines have paved the way to modern games like Battle Royale, like, how that evolved from an Arma little video game to this huge sweeping genre. It's easy to see that working, but in order to see that working, someone had to take the risk to do that. They had to put themselves out there to fail. And I think that's what I really wanted to hit in this video, is that for every Metal Gear Solid, there's 100 games that fucking fail. Innovation requires failure. Failure and failure and failure, and you gotta put yourself out there, and that's one of the hardest things to do, especially in the day and age where everybody has the ability to tell you how much you suck, to tell you how trash your product is, to tell you 1,000,001 different reasons that it could have been better than what you delivered when you tried your hardest to do it. This video I really wanted to simply make this video to just say thank you. Just a big thank you to any and all the game developers out there who are trying to do something different, trying to do something unique. And whether you succeed on that, whether the feature that you thought was gonna revolutionize the game industry gets scrapped at the last minute, or you go out there and you just straight up fail, I wanna say earnestly from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now, with that being said, if motherfuckers call me Nicky Jakey on drugs, then you best believe your boy's still gonna flame your fucking game. Have I made a video game before in my life? No. Does that stop me from nitpicking your fucking game? Absolutely not. Welcome to the internet. Thank you guys for watching the video. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what your most underrated video game is in the comment section below. And I'll catch you guys next time on a little thing called The Magical World of Video Game Fishing. It's been a real time. Fucking got him again. That's another one for the books right there. Fuck yes.